bishop, and why not change the c6 pawn? So c5. Obviously here, taking on b7 I think would be inaccurate, because queen takes, and we don't want to change that bad bishop on b7. For example, now if we take on c5, bishop takes, black doesn't have any problem anymore. So d5 is the best move and the most logical one. And now we get a very strong passed central pawn. Now we just try to put a rook on d1 and push this guy into until d6, d7, and why not d8. So d5, and now it's already a very difficult position. Knight d7 is not possible because of bishop f5. Maybe black should put some pieces on d6, but it's very difficult because, for example, if bishop d6, we can simply play knight c4. So that's why Zarubin played b5, just to try to control the c4 square and stabilize some piece on d6. So the idea, if queen takes b5, obviously is bishop a6 with the rook on f1. So bishop f4. Now the idea, if bishop d6 is knight c6, winning some material. If, for example, bishop takes c6, bishop takes d6, attacking both the rook on f8 and the bishop on c6. For example, rook d8, just take, rook takes d6 and c7. Everything is falling. So this knight, if bishop takes x4, of course, you can win the queen playing knight e7. So bishop f6 and now rook e1, rook d1, and a very difficult position for black. a6, queen f3, rook e8, and bishop takes x7. Of course, in that position, white could maybe try to increase the position without sacrificing a piece. But probably he saw that this bishop h7 was too strong and was winning. In general, we say that when we have an advantage, a very secure advantage, you don't have to sacrifice. But if you see some win, you have to go for it. But you have to be sure that you will be winning. If you see something unclear, even if it smells good, just try to keep your stable advantage. Here, for example, he could just defend his knight and play rook d1 and followed by d6. And very, very comfortable advantage, and probably winning. But here, he probably saw that this was too winning not to be played. King h7, queen h5, king g8. Okay, it's just repeating moves. And knight g4, and we can see all the pieces on the queen side that cannot defend the king. We have four pieces to attack against one defender, the bishop on f6. When Kasparov shows some example of attacking, he's always counting the pieces that attacks and counting the pieces that defends. In that case, 4 against 1 or 2 is just too bad for black. Knight d7, knight h6. Of course, you always have to calculate, but in this position, he probably saw that it was a forced win. King h8. Okay, he's just repeating a bit the moves. Why he's repeating the moves? Just maybe to reach the move 40 and get more time to finish the game. And now I play knight d6. So rook takes e1 is the only move. Rook takes e1, queen c7, queen f7, king h8, and knight f5. Okay, this is just winning. The queen on c7 is under attack, queen a5, rook e7, and this is completely winning. Okay, and you resign a couple of moves after, followed by some mate in f7. Okay, so what you have to remember about this b6 variation is sometimes, at some point, you will have to take on d5, and it won't be a strategical mistake. Just going back a bit, of course you can play this c takes d5. I played that a couple of times, this c takes d5, with followed by knight g3 and bishop f4. But it seems to me that this knight e5 is very, very strong. Okay, now let's continue with the c6 move. c6, we will see this kind of position also after bishop b4 in that position. Bishop b4, bishop d2, and bishop e7. It's more or less the same kind of position, but it changes a bit. It seems that black lost the time, but it makes some sense. So we will check that in the next chapters. At the moment we will see that position, c6. And now the plan will be to play e4. Queen c2, knight bd7, and knight bd2, intending to play e4 to open the diagonal of our very strong, our masterpiece in g2. Okay, so b6, and now e4. Now we want black to take on e4, and knight takes e4 with the weakness on c6. The other idea is to gain some space. And sometimes we'll play e5 and gain some space on the king side. Okay, here in that position, black has two choices. First one is to take on e4. We'll start by this. Looking at a game of Grishuk, the Russian grandmaster. Knight takes e4, knight takes, d takes, and queen takes. Bishop b7. Okay, now the plan of black is simply to play queen c7 and c5. In good conditions, if black manages to play queen c7 and c5 in good condition, it will be a kind of equal position. Okay, so look at the move of Grishuk. Rook d1. Okay, for the moment, white cannot play c5 because, of course, this bishop is hanging. But the idea and the key move in that position is to play c5. We will see how we can manage to play this c5, because for the moment this c5 is hanging, simply. Okay, rook c8, bishop f4. We can see that, for example, here, if queen c7, we can play bishop f4, bishop d6, bishop takes, queen takes, and here, the very important move, c5. Okay, so rook c8, we have more or less the same plan. Bishop f4, knight f6, queen c2, and bishop d6. Here, Obviously, c5